Hey everyone, it's Jade. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I like to use my planner and how I plan my weeks out. And I'm going to be planning a week in January today just because I feel like it's a tiny bit creepy to show you like my exact week, and also it's already planned out. So I'm going to pretend that it's in January, but it will be somewhat accurate. Obviously each week changes here and there, but it will still give you a good idea. Keep in mind I study from home because of my health, so therefore, you know, my weeks are going to look a bit different to the average person my age, but I reckon you can still use this method. I used to use this method like 5 years ago, even when I was in school. You just have to change it a little bit depending what you do in your week. Before I get into the actual planning though, I want to show you guys what I actually use and what my planner supplies are. This is the planner that I use. It's from Kmart. It is floral. As you can see, it just says 2019 and it's spiral bound. I refuse to use a non-spiral bound planner or notebook. This was only $5 from Kmart, which is really cheap. In the past I've always got my planners from like kikki.K or Typo, but I wanted to take the cheap route this year and see how it holds up, and other than the fact that it doesn't include a monthly overview, I'm pretty happy with it. For pens, I like to use these. It is 20 Brilliant Colors by this brand. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce it. I just like to use these 8 colors here, so I keep them on this side so they're easy access. I also like to use a Sharpie. This is just a copper one. You probably don't need one. It's just, you'll see why I do it soon. And then lastly, I use some sticky notes. So I have a green one because it matches the color coding, and then I have these ones. You'll see why as well. So when you first open it up, this is what it looks like. There is a personal information section, which is obviously covered with sticky notes so you don't know it, but that's not usually there. And then over here I have my color coding in case I need to refer to that, along with my time blocking in case I need to refer to that. If you want a whole video on time blocking, let me know because it's like the coolest thing ever. And then I also have a sticky note that says catch up with. As you can see, they're all washi taped on. I know it looks very tacky, but it's just the easiest way because it's really easy to peel off and change over. Moving on here, there is a international public holidays thing, so I just have Australia nationwide and Victoria highlighted because these are the only ones that actually affect me. On the next page they have a 2018, 2019 and 2020 overview in case you need to refer to that, along with a yearly planner for 2019 and 2020. I don't really like the way it's laid out, but it's super helpful to be able to look over next year and see what date falls on which day. Moving on, there is a little note section that I don't use, and then we get on to the actual planner. As you can see, each month has its own little tab, and these are actually really cool if you wanted to put like quotes on it or stickers or something. I just haven't bothered to. Flicking to the back, there is some contact page which I don't use, and then as you can see here, I've written out video ideas and I have some sticky notes. These are not where I keep my video ideas. I keep them in Evernote, but sometimes I'll write them down to put in my week on these sticky notes, and then I'll change my mind and I just like to stick them in the back. And I also have Dream, Create, Inspire here because I want to inspire people, so that's really important for me to have that. We're going to flick back to January and get started on planning. Okay, so I'm going to be using this week in January. So the first thing that I want to do for the week is take this grey pen and mark out any birthdays. As you can see, there's a little birthday section in the bottom of each page, which is awesome. And also any public holidays. These are things that it's good for me to be aware of but may not actually affect me. The next thing I'm going to do is take a blue pen and write down any appointments. So let's say I have a cardiologist appointment on Monday and an orthodontist appointment on Thursday, and I'm also going to write down the times that those appointments start. The next thing I'm going to do is take the orange pen and write down any events / activities. So I'm going to start by writing church out on a Sunday because that is an event. And then let's also say I have been asked to babysit on a Thursday night from 4 to 6 p.m. Moving on, I'm taking the purple pen and I'm going to write down anything with family or friends. I'm going to say that my family has the blue family coming over for dinner on Monday night. I'm also going to say that I have youth group on Friday and Sunday. And I'm also going to say I'm meeting my friend at a cafe on Saturday. Okay, so this is a pretty average week of socializing for me. Obviously it changes here and there, but I'm going to move on to the next color, which is school. For studying, I'm going to put an S down on the days that I want to do schoolwork. So I'm going to say that I'm going to do it on every weekday except Thursday, just because I can see that Thursday is a little bit busier. And then next to the S, I'll just put a dash and write down the things I need to do. As you can see here, these 2 days were free other than school, so I decided to put 4 different subjects on the Tuesday and do a lot of work, and then only 2 things on the Wednesday. Therefore, I can focus a bit more on YouTube on that day. So I'm going to take the green pen, which is what I use for YouTube. So I'm just going to write down the filming, also things like posting on Instagram, uploading, thumbnail, editing, all of that. I like to kind of juggle my Etsy store with YouTube, so I'll kind of focus this week on YouTube, then the next week a bit more on Etsy. But for now, I'm just going to write 2 things down. So red is my Splash Beauty color, so I'll just look at when I have a little bit of free time and write them down. The last and probably my least favorite category is the general to-dos. That is in pink. What I like to do with the general to-dos is look at my to-do list / brain dump and work out what I want to kind of do in that week. And I'll start by writing a couple things down on the Monday, because I like to plan on the Sunday night. But as you can see, Monday is already pretty full, so I don't want to get too tired, so I'll just say a couple things. The next thing that I'll do when it comes to to-dos is I might look at the week and go, which day do I have free, or which days? For example, I can see that Saturday is somewhat free, not really, but kind of. So I might put like a bigger 1 or 2 down there. And that is pretty much about all I can do to start off the week, because I really don't know how the week is going to go, and you know, to-dos come in and go out. So what I like to do with that is take the grey pen, and in this section where it says notes, I like to write down some things that I know I need to do that week. I also want to give a disclaimer. My handwriting is disgusting in this video because I can't access my planner properly because the tripod is in the way, so I promise you it's normally better than this. That is pretty much it. This is a pretty average overview of my week. Now I want to show you how I mark stuff off. So to mark things, I use the grey pen again. So let's just say Monday has finished, or throughout the day, I will put a tick next to the things that have already happened. Say I'm planning to babysit and they don't end up needing me at all, then I will put a cross next to that. Also, say I was planning to edit product photos here and I didn't get it done. What I'll do is I'll just put an arrow like this, which just means move it to the next day. This is just the easiest way for me to overview something and everything that I've done. With daily things like take medication, make this snack, work out here, I don't tend to write that down in my planner just because it's in my time blocking and I live off that every day. As I said at the start, I use a Sharpie, so I'm going to quickly show you how I use that. What I do with this Sharpie is mark down the days where I have to get out of my yoga leggings and actually present myself to go out of the house. Your average person, you're not going to need to do this. You do this every day, but with my health, I don't go out of the house every day. So it's quite helpful for me to be able to overlook the week and see how many times I'm going out. As I do get the to-dos done down here, I like to just take the grey pen again and mark them off. So what will happen is I will, look at each day when the day comes, and in pink I'll write down the general to-dos just like this. Once I have finished it, I will completely cross it off, and then my goal by the end of the week is to have everything crossed off. If not, it moves on to the next week. At the start of this video, I also mentioned that I like to use sticky notes such as these, so I'll quickly show you how I do that. So I mainly use these for planning ahead, planning the next week coming and stuff like this. With the green ones, as you can see, green is like my YouTube / media, so that's why I have green sticky notes. I'll normally write something down such as what video I'm going to post that week. So let's say I'm planning on posting a makeup video but it hasn't been filmed yet. I will just write that down on a sticky note and stick it on the Sunday because that's when I upload. So that's what these are, because sometimes I'll plan like 6 weeks ahead and it ends up changing, so I like to stick them into the back so I can use them later. The reason I use the hour ones for is, let's say that my friend agreed to catch up with me at a cafe but they're not 100% sure. I will write it down on the sticky note, stick it in on the day, and then I can always remove it later. So yeah, that is it. That is how I plan and lay out my weeks. My health is pretty unpredictable, so I never really know. There are days where I can't do anything and they can go on for weeks, or I just work from bed. But I still like to have everything planned out and laid out. It's very, very helpful for me to make sure I am giving my energy to all areas of life, but still having enough energy to enjoy things like catching up with a friend or filming a YouTube video. So yeah. Okay guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out. I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to planner videos, but I'd love it if you could comment down below. Are you like a total planner and organizer like me, or are you just a total wing it, see what happens kind of person? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the bell down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye!